During my time as a police officer, I had a difficult time arresting bigger guys, especially this one incident. We had a really hard time taking him down and putting the handcuffs on. It was to a point where I think we went past 15 minutes and I was very exhausted and I couldn't really grab the guy. Luckily, we had backup to come help, but I realized at that time that I needed more training to be more effective. And guys I run into would always be bigger, stronger than I was, so I needed to learn martial art. So I picked Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as a main training that I would kind of force myself to go through. Plus, too, at work when I was undercover, my boss, my sergeant at the time, he made us train Jiu-Jitsu and do extra training every week because I was going out alone, making drug buys, or hanging out with dangerous people. And sometimes we wouldn't have visual or radio contact, so he said we needed to train to survive. So that also opened my eyes. So I got to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to protect myself, and it came in handy. Okay, so the examples that my students going to read off, gave them notes, is from when I was a cop mainly, and when I used BJJ. So when I first started, I didn't have any training. As a rookie, and several years in, I just winged it. Just try to grab people, put them down, put the handcuffs on. But once I learned BJJ, especially at blue belt, handling people got a lot more easier and got more efficient. Okay, so he'll read off the first example, then I'll tell you my story here.
Bar trespass.
Okay, that example, we got called to a bar in Waikiki, and the guy didn't want to leave. He was drunk. They cut him off from drinking, and we got there. He still was drunk. He didn't want to leave, so we told him several times, you have to leave or you'll get arrested. And we just kept repeating over and over. He got belligerent, of course. And officer, we gave the signal, we're gonna arrest the guy, put the handcuffs on. So I had, I think, one guy behind him. I was in front, so you couldn't run away. So I was kind of blocking the street area. And as one guy tried to put the cuffs on, he ran towards me. He jumped off about 4 or 5 flights of stairs and did a flying kick. Just like a Bruce Lee movie, right at my face. And I could see his bottom of his foot coming right for my face. And all I did was I just stepped to the side and he went flying across right past me. Then my partners tackled him and then we put the handcuffs on. And put him in the handcuffs, put him in the car, book him in the station. And I think that was one of the prime examples where I started to realize that my training was coming in handy, because training jiu-jitsu, we train takedowns, we train sprawling, we train defense, and we do a lot of rolling. And just being aware and knowing how to react when somebody attacks you, that gave me the instinct to move out of the way. Because if you just stay center line, you're gonna get blasted. So as he did his flying kick, all I simply did was move offline and let him fly by me. So that was a pretty easy one. Again, that's just more awareness and having the right reaction when people attack you. Came in handy. So if you have any follow-up, or we can move on.
So you didn't actually use any hand-to-hand techniques on him?
Not in that incident, no, because once he flew past me, my partners tackled him and then we just put the handcuffs on. So that was pretty simple. The guy didn't have much fight in him. He was already drunk. So I just lucky I didn't get a foot to my face.
Number 2 is hip throw and knee on belly.
Okay, this incident, I was alone I arrested this male, and when I told him he was under arrest, because we had the statements and we had the complaint and the witnesses and whatnot, so okay, now you're under arrest. He told me F you, and he didn't want to comply. He didn't want to put the cuffs on. So because we were in a small office and I was blocking the door, I said, you're under arrest, gotta put the cuffs on you. We ended up fighting, and it was just me and him. So I grabbed him, put him up against the wall, and I just threw him down because he wouldn't give me his hands to put the cuffs on, and ended up putting knee on belly. Okay, knee on belly is something we do in jiu-jitsu, which is a really good position. I controlled him. You know, he went wild. He was trying to punch me. He was trying to kick, and I just did my basic knee on belly ride until he got tired. And I said, "Are you done yet?" And after like a few minutes, he said, "Yeah, get off of me, effing cop," blah blah blah, swearing at me. So he looked tired, so I got off of him, and I was ready to put the cuffs on, and then he resisted again. And then I think he tried to jump on my back, or somehow he got behind me. So I wrapped around his head and I did a hip throw. Just threw him, boom, landed on his back, put the cuffs on, and then put him in the car. So that was a good example of pure jiu-jitsu for me. That was perfect because he didn't hit me, he didn't injure me, I didn't injure him. Put the cuffs on. I booked them in the station, and it was a very good arrest. You know, nobody got hurt.
Did you feel any adrenaline in that, or was it more like it was almost like you're sparring?
It was more like I was sparring, but I was angry because he tried to fight me, took a swing at me. So I was angry, but it wasn't adrenaline. It was more like, okay, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, which is like sparring. Take him down, knee on belly, and tell him to calm down, shut up, put the cuffs on. Because there were witnesses, so I couldn't really just do what I wanted to do in private. You know, there's people around, so I did it politically correct, and that was fine. I mean, as long as I got the job done, put the handcuffs on, I got done. And he can't fight, so it was all said and done. It was good.
Nowadays, everybody carries a cell phone.
Yeah, luckily back then, people wasn't recording me.
Naked woman knife.
Okay, this one, again, I was a cop in Waikiki. We had a call of a woman running naked in a hotel lobby. When we got there, sure enough, there was a naked woman, and she was screaming. Her boyfriend was trying to kill her. Apparently, he had a knife and he was trying to stab her. So she ran out the room, ran down the stairs, ran through the lobby screaming for help. And the guy was chasing her with a knife. So when we got all the facts and the statements, we went up to the room to talk to the boyfriend. And he was off. He was off his medication. He was big, kind of like Mike Tyson, but fatter, you know. And he did admit that he was angry, he was hearing voices, and the voices told him to kill her during our conversation. And he said he forgot to take his meds, and that the voices were telling him to kill her. She was a devil. Something like that. Really, really crazy. And so, again, my partners and I, we said, okay, we're going to take him in for terroristic threatening and whatever charges else we could come up with, because he was violent. And so we give the signal to arrest, and then we tried to arrest him, and then he ended up resisting and fighting. And the hard part was he was only in his underwear, so he was very slippery with sweat and resisting, and we were getting tossed around trying to grab this guy, wall to wall, tables breaking, chairs flying, we're on the ground rolling around, and we couldn't put the cuffs on. This guy was super strong, and he was sweaty. He was like a greased pig, just slipping out everything. So we finally kind of got him tired out, where he ended up in the turtle position, his hands and knees, and we're trying to break him down to get the arms behind his back. So I'm on this side of him, and my partner's on the other side, and then the third guy was trying to grab his legs. And we're like, okay, pull his legs out, and we're gonna smash him down to get his arms behind his back, because he was just turtling hard, right? So my partner ends up taking out his pepper spray and sprays the guy, but the guy moves his head and blasts me in the face with the pepper spray, because he's up, shooting up, and he's on this side. I'm on this side, and the guy moves his head, so the spray went. I got fully blasted with pepper spray. Now I'm blind. I can't see. My eyes are tearing. My face is all burning. And all we did was pretty much like jiu-jitsu, where we did the kimura. And then the third guy pulled his legs out. So we both kimura'd his arms and put the handcuffs on. So that was another situation where I'm happy I had some. I was still a white belt at the time, but at least I had some skills to handle this guy. This guy was way too strong and slippery. There was no way one guy could handle him. No way. And I don't know where that knife went either. So that was another thing on our minds, right? Like, where did he hide the knife? Because he could end up running, grabbing the knife. And the whole room got trashed. We were like flying all over the place. That was pretty sketchy.
I guess arresting looks easy on video until you actually try to do it.
Yeah, I mean, in real life, it's very sketchy because, you know, like the corner of a table or pots and pans or knives, you don't know where. I mean, there's weapons everywhere. You could hit your head on the corner of a table and die. So there's so many dangers in a hotel room. People don't realize that while we're trying to arrest people and they're fighting, they'll take you everywhere you want, but you're not in control. Because he's flinging his arms around and he's trying to kick you, he's trying to bite you. It's like a tornado. Yeah, it's very, very sketchy. You really get into trying to control a crazy person who doesn't want to go to prison or jail. They don't want to go to jail.
Last one is taxi CPD.
Okay, the last one, I was called again. This is Waikiki. Taxi got property damage. A customer ended up kicking the taxi cab, damaging his car. So he calls out the suspect description, and I find him several blocks away. We get confirmation that's the guy. We get the witness to come. Yeah, that was him. Okay, I positively identify the guy. And again, we're gonna arrest you for property damage. And once he knew I was gonna arrest him, I just saw him try to pump himself up. This is like 2 a.m. too, so he was intoxicated. And he started to be like this. He just started to amp himself up. I'm like, he was sitting down. I said, bro, you better calm down. And he just was like, I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail. F you, pig. F you. And relax. We're going to put the cuffs on. You're going to go to jail, bail out. Relax. And he just started going like the Hulk, just like enraging himself. And I'm like, I'm going to get into another brawl, right? And this guy, again, is bigger than me. Looked like he was a weightlifter. He had that big gold chain. He was thick. And I went to approach him. He was seated. He came up at me to try to tackle me. Like, just stood up and just, like, between you and me, about 10 feet, just rushed me, tried to take me down. And I immediately went to a sprawl. Sprawled, shoot my legs back, pushed my hips down, and I cross-faced him. And he still was trying to take me down like a double leg. And he was just grunting like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And I'm like, okay, now it's time to go. I can't be nice anymore. So I shoved his face into the pavement. And he kept coming, and I was sprawling. He grinded his face into into the pavement. And then he finally stopped because he didn't want to mess up his face. I guess it hurt, right? His face was getting into the pavement. So he stopped. He let go of my leg, and then right there I spun to his back. Just like jiu-jitsu, spun to his back. And I guess he rolled over, and then I just ended up doing what I had to do to subdue the guy, calm him down, and give him a little bit of a, you know what I mean, just to get him to stop trying to fight me. And so I gave him a few, and then he took it, but he didn't really like give up. He didn't give up. He just kept trying to fight. So I kept mounting and knee on belly, and then and just started to just take it out of him, you know. And he finally gave up, turned him over, put the cuffs on. Then I grabbed him, picked him up. He had all rocks stuck in his face. He was all bleeding. And I'm like, you didn't have to do that, man. Now I gotta take you to hospital. And he was all messed up. And come to find out, because I had to take this guy to Queens. They looked him over, they did a blood test, and the toxicology came back positive for meth, cocaine, ecstasy, weed, like 5 drugs in his system. And like 6 hours later, after I guess they gave him sedatives, brought him down, and they reversed the drugs. You know, they give him other drugs to calm him down, bring him back to the station. He tells me in the car, "Hey, sorry, bro. I never mean for do what I did. I was just out of control and high. I never mean it." And he apologized. But I'm telling you, I think that's one of the prime examples of what jiu-jitsu training helped me do, was defend myself from the takedown, handle his enraged adrenaline anger at me, and control the situation, and wear him down and put the cuffs on. That's what I think. Without jiu-jitsu training, without BJJ, I would have been the victim. I would have been in the hospital, messed up, broken jaw, busted tooth, broken nose. Who knows?
Oh, he could have taken your gun.
Yeah, he could have taken my gun. He
unconscious.
could have shot me with my own gun. Because he just didn't want to go in. He made up his mind that it was between me and freedom. Right? So the point where he knew he was going to get arrested, he just pumped himself up like Incredible Hulk. And I just see him shoot up, try to take me down. And that triggered me. I got to fight. Either I fight or he's going to kick my ass. And that's what we're trained in recruit school. We're trained that if you lose, they could take your gun and kill you with your own gun. That's the reality of being a police officer. So luckily that stayed in my mind. And BJJ training, because I was training so much, it kept my reflexes and my reaction like on point. Because 2 a.m, who's ready to fight? It's not normal to be ready to fight 2 a.m. Even when you're a cop, you're not going to every call expecting to fight. You just never know when it comes up. So we're trained, we're supposedly trained to be ready. But BJJ actually made me ready.